Welcome to our online physics class. In today's class, we will continue chapter 13 sound. As we have learned in the class, we will learn about the propagation of sound. That is, how does sound travel? Okay. So, now we have to remember that sound requires a material medium to propagate. Here propagate means to travel, move from one place to another. We have seen that how is sound produced. It is produced by the vibrations of the vibrating bodies. Now we will learn how does it move, how does it propagate. Okay. Now it requires a material medium. What do you mean by material medium? Is the number of molecules. If there are molecules present, then only the sound can travel. Otherwise, if it is vacuum, that means devoid of any material medium, the sound, even if it is produced, will not be able to travel. For example, you are sitting in a room and there is some a loudspeaker playing some songs or something. It is producing sound, but how does it come to your ears? This is called propagation, the movement of sound waves. Okay, so if there is almost vacuum between you and the music system, the sound, even if it is produced, will not be able to reach our ears. Okay, so it requires a material medium, means there should be some amount of solid, liquid or gas in between you and the where the sound is produced, the source. Okay, if it is not there, then even though the source produces sound, the receiver will not be able to perceive it, will not be able to hear it. Okay, now we know that it requires a material medium. Now we have three material mediums here: solid, liquids and gases. Okay, now in case of solids, because the molecules are tightly packed, so the sound can travel easily. It travels the fastest. For example, you put your head on the table and somebody bangs it from below. You get to hear a loud sound there. Okay, and still somebody is banging, but you are sitting in your chair. It reaches your ears after the feeble sound reaches your ears. Okay, so if you are putting your head on the table, there is only a solid medium between your ear and the bottom of the table where the sound is being produced. So you hear a loud sound. Hence, in solids, the propagation of sound is fastest, because the molecules are very near to each other. There is very less space in between them. So the propagation of sound is the fastest in case of solids. In case of liquids, it becomes less, and it is the least in case of gases. It is slowest in case of gases. The speed of sound is fastest in solids, then keeps on decreasing, slower in liquids, and keeps on decreasing till it reaches the gases where it is the slowest. Okay. Now we take in case of solids steel as the standard. So in case of steel, metallic objects, the speed of sound is 5100 meters per second. You know that the SI unit of speed is meters per second, and how do we measure it? In meters per second. So the speed of sound in solids is 5100 or 5100 meters per second. In liquids, as you know, we take water as the standard. So the speed of sound in water is 1600 meters per second. And very slow in gases, as in air. Air is the standard here. So in air, the speed of sound becomes very less. It is almost 330 meters per second. I hope this is clear to all. Now what happens when there is no material medium, neither solids nor liquids, no gases there? It is vacuum like in space. So even if sound is produced, we will not be able to hear. So sound cannot propagate in a vacuum. Now if we have this experiment, see, this is a bell jar. If we take a bell jar and put a bell, a ringing bell, an electric bell inside, and close it. We have a switch outside. We can switch on and off from here. Now what happens? We empty out the bell jar through a vacuum pump so that there are no air particles inside. Okay, so it is near vacuum inside. Almost vacuum is created. What will happen? Now, first of all, we have had this setup now. Gradually, you start the bell. You put the switch on. The bell starts ringing. Okay, the bell starts ringing, you can hear the sound. Now what do? You start the vacuum pump and start drawing out the air. Gradually the sound produced by the ringing bell will keep on becoming feeble, keep on becoming very, very low. Right? After some time, when you've drawn almost all the air out of the bell jar, you will not be able to hear any sound. You will see that the bell is moving, it is ringing. You can see that it is moving, so it is ringing. But you are not able to hear the sound. Why? Because it is almost vacuum inside the bell jar. Although the sound is being produced by the electric bell, it cannot reach us. It cannot propagate out. Why it cannot travel outside the bell jar? because there is almost vacuum here. There are no particles to carry the sound waves from the bell jar to our ears. Okay, so this experiment proves that sound requires a material medium to propagate. It cannot propagate in vacuum. Sound cannot travel through vacuum. It requires a material medium like solid, liquid and gas. The speed of sound is fastest or the speed of sound is highest in case of solids, then liquids and then in gases. Okay. So we will learn about sonar. What is sonar? Sonar is the apparatus used to calculate the depth of the sea or the ocean. Otherwise it is almost impossible for us to calculate. Here we use the reflection of the ultrasonic vibrations to calculate the depth of the sea. How do they do it? They attach an apparatus which is used to take out the ultrasonic vibrations. The ultrasonic vibrations start from the ship, go and reaches the depth of the sea, from where they are reflected back. When they are reflected back, they calculate the time taken by them for this reflection. Supposing the time taken by the reflected rays to come back to the surface was 2.8 seconds. Okay. Now, if we know the formula of speed, it is distance upon time. We want to calculate the distance, that is the distance or the depth of the sea. So how do we do it? Distance is equals to speed into time. Now it is 2.8 seconds, two ways it is going, but we want to calculate the depth, so we have to divide it by 2. 2.8 will become half, it is now 1.4. So distance is equals to time is now 1.4 multiplied by what is the speed of sound in case of water or liquid? It is, as you know, 1600 meters per second. If we multiply this, we get the answer, and this is what is the depth of the sea. Okay, this distance tells us what is the depth of the sea from the surface of the ship. This is how we can calculate the depth of the sea or the ocean using sonar. I hope you understood what is sonar. This is all for now.
So in today's class, children, we have learnt about the transmission or propagation of sound. Sound propagates through a material medium. It requires a material medium like solid, liquid or gas through which it can propagate. It cannot move or travel through a vacuum where no particle matter is there, no particles or molecules are present. Right? So in space or through vacuum, sound cannot travel. It can only travel or propagate through solid, liquids and gases. Okay, this is the experiment to show that sound cannot travel through vacuum. If we take a bell jar, as you can see in the picture, I've just explained the activity. If you take a bell jar and inside that you have an electric bell, its switch is outside the bell jar. If you attach a vacuum pump to the bell jar and let the air be sucked out, you will observe that the sound of the bell is already ringing, but the sound of the ringing bell gradually decreases. As you keep on pumping out the air, what happens? As the molecules of air are less in number inside the bell jar, the sound of the ringing bell also is very feeble. Although you can hear it, but as you keep on pumping out the air, the sound also becomes very, very less. And when there is almost vacuum inside the bell jar, the sound of the electric bell cannot be heard, even though the bell is ringing inside the bell jar. But sound cannot move out of the bell jar because the molecules are not there to carry it outside. Okay. Then the sound can travel through liquids, the solids, liquids and gases. It travels the fastest in case of solids because the molecules are tightly packed. They are very near each other. Okay, but in liquids, because they are farther apart, so it takes some time to travel in liquids and then in gases. In gases, the speed of sound keeps on decreasing. Right? Solids, it is the fastest, that is, if you take steel as a standard, it is almost 5100 meters per second. In liquids, as in water, it is 1600 meters per second, and in gases it is almost 330 or 340 meters per second. Okay, then why do we see the lightning before we hear the sound of thunder? When lightning occurs, why do you see the lightning in the sky and after some seconds you are able to hear the sound of thunder? This is because light can travel through vacuum also. It can travel through particle medium at the same speed in the air and in the vacuum. So light travels very fast, and the speed of light is what? It is 300,000 kilometers per second, or 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. That is the speed of light, very, very fast. And what is the speed of sound in air? It is 330 or 340 meters per second. So you can compare the two, right? The speed of light is very, very fast as compared to sound, and that is why we get to hear the sound of thunder after a duration of time. But we see the lightning immediately, although both are taking place at the same time. But we get to hear the sound of thunder after some time, then we see the lightning. The last topic that we discussed today was about sonar, the sound navigation ranging. What is that? How do we calculate the depth of the sea or some objects lying inside the sea or the ocean, their distance, right? This is the sonar only aims as to calculate the time taken by the ultrasonic vibrations to come back, to get reflected. As we have learned in previous classes, that the ultrasonic waves are also reflected back. All the sound waves are reflected back, and that is called an echo, right? And you've learned about echolocation also. So here also the echo of the sound only is used to calculate the time taken by the sound waves to return back to the ship where the sonar is attached. And if we know the time, we can calculate the distance, because we also know the speed of sound in water, that is 1600 meters per second. If you know the speed, if you know the time, you can calculate the distance, right? This is how the sonar works. I hope you understood today's topic, how we learned about the propagation of sound in different mediums, and sonar. Hope to meet you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy.